In this first video, we are going to review factoring by using the square root method. This can only be done if you have no b value or if it's in vertex form. Those two examples are down below. The first one being with no b value. It has an x squared term and then it has a constant of 12, but there is no regular x value, which is your b term. Or it can be in the vertex form. There are 4 steps to solving this. Now these 4 steps are tentative. They could be modified in different orders, or you may not do all of these steps. But we are going to use those as our guide. So our first guide is to get x squared alone. We need to get that separated from any of the other terms and constants. So number 1, we have x squared plus 11 equals 20. So we need to get that 11 to the other side so that we can have x squared by itself. So since it is a positive 11, we are going to be subtracting 11 from both sides. When you do that, you're left with x squared equals 9. Now that we have x squared equals 9, the second step is to divide by a. A is your term in front of x squared. In this case, there's no shown number, but we know that there's a 1 in front of x squared, but we do not need to divide by that. The third step is to take the square root of both sides. So we take the square root of both sides, x squared and 9. That simplifies out that square root term. So we have x equals, and then we have the square root of 9. Simplifying our answer, square root of 9 is 3. But in this case, we do need to say plus or negative. Is a positive or a negative 3. So we're going to use that plus or negative symbol. You could also write out your answer as x equals 3 comma negative 3. That is also acceptable. So let's look at example number 2. X squared minus 4 equals 45. Again, let's follow those same steps. Get x squared alone. So we have x squared minus 4, so we need to add 4 to both sides. Alright, when we add 4, those 4 simplify out, so we're left with x squared equals 49. Alright, again, divide by a. We do not have an a term that needs to be divided by because our a term is 1. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. Taking the square root of x square root of 49. That simplifies out, so we're just left with x. And the square root of 49 is 7. But remember, when we take our square roots, in these cases we do need to do a positive or a negative 7. You could also write that as x equals 7 comma negative 7. Sorry about that, had to fix that. So now let's look at them where there actually is going to be an a term that we need to divide by. Look at number 3, we have 6x squared plus 4 equals 100. Taking that same method, getting x by itself. So we see the 6x squared and plus 4. So the first thing we do need to move is that positive 4. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, just like we did in step 1 and 2. Those simplify out. Now we're left with 6x squared equals 100 minus 4 is 96. Now in this case, we do have an a term in front of our x squared that we would need to divide by. We have 6x squared, so when we divide both sides by that a term, we're going to be dividing both sides by 6. So that simplifies out. Now 96 divided by 6 gives us 16, so we're left with x equals x squared, x squared equals 16. And now we can take that third step of taking the square root of both sides. So that simplifies out, so we have x equals positive or negative 4. Or again, we could write that as 4 comma negative 4. Pause the video real quick, try number 4, and then I'll show you the answer. Hopefully you paused the video and you're now checking your answer. You can see I got x equals positive or negative 5. I added 8 to both sides, got me 2x squared equals 50. I then divided by 2 on both sides to get x squared equals 25, and then taking that square root. If you've got any questions over this, pull me aside and let's talk through it.